I really enjoy teaching. It's been my passion. I've known I wanted to be a teacher since I was born. It's a generational thing. And this year, at the beginning of this year, I sat in my class and I was wondering, what happened to my passion? Where did that go? Because I found myself going from excited to being at school, being able to teach the kids, to crying because I don't want to go to school. The whole mom, I don't want to go to school, that was me.
Unfiltered AF, real ones rise, no mask, no flex. Lights on, mic check is next. This is the truth, Unfiltered AF.
Today on Unfiltered AF, we are going viral with one of South Africa's favorite online educators, Teacher Landi, as she is known on TikTok, teaching young minds from education to educational resources in books and so forth, telling us about her business and how she's gone from the online sensation Teacher Landi to a business owner. Landi, welcome.
Thank you so much, Alka. It's lovely being here today.
Extremely an honor having you here today on Unfiltered AF, talking about your journey as a teacher, as a business owner, mom, wife, and so forth. So how did you fit this in your schedule today?
I managed to fit this in today because I now work from home and I am in charge of my own schedule.
So, isn't that the dream?
That is definitely the dream.
But I'm sure all our viewers have got one burning question. The Teacher Landi they've come to love and know, is that who Landi is?
I would say, for the most part, yes. I try to keep my TikTok authentic. I record on my bad days and I record on my good days. The only part that I would say some people might struggle with when they meet me is that they think I'm outwardly just extroverted and ready and happy, and they don't always realize, some days you wake up and you're not in the happiest mood or so on. Or they think I'm ready to jump into any conversation, where I'm more cautious when I meet people, talking to them. So other than that, I'm authentically myself on TikTok and in person.
I love it. I love it. I'm going to do a big reveal right now, and then we can carry on. So the show is called Unfiltered AF. Now, we've had this burning question, what does the AF stand for? We've had a few interesting comments as well, and I asked to keep it clean. AF stands for Authentic Founders. And this, look at my shirt, authentic, right? And this ties in so beautifully what you just said, being authentic. Being authentic yourself, but also in that, being an authentic business founder.
Yeah.
So, your first TikTok, how did that start? Because I'm curious, I want to know.
So my first TikTok actually isn't on TikTok anymore because I didn't have space on my phone. So I had to go and delete a whole bunch of TikToks. But my first TikTok was during COVID, when we just got back to school. And I had a mask on, I was sitting at my table and I was busy marking books. And I just made it, for myself actually. It wasn't the goal to become this big Teacher Landi influencer, whatever. I made that so that people can see that we as teachers don't just wake up, go to school 2 o'clock, return back home and have a blast. I made it so that people can see that we as teachers sit and we work hours upon hours to prepare for their children, and so that they could just see what teaching is like.
And it's tough, right?
And it's really tough. Hence why I left it.
So take us on that journey, Landi. From Teacher Landi, educator, turning Teacher Landi, turning business owner. How did that process happen, and why did you make the decision to leave education? Was it because of TikTok? Was it because of your business? Was it because of your passion for children to explore a different avenue?
So I started my business before I started TikTok. It just wasn't branded, if I can put it that way. It was small. It was in COVID. And I didn't have money. So I was a student at the time, working as a student, and I needed to make extra money because I was pregnant with my first child, or I just had her, and I needed to make some extra cash. And I saw a gap in the market where teachers need resources, and I'm there to provide those resources. And I made a few booklets to make some extra cash, and then I kind of stopped. And I did the Teacher Landi thing, and I really enjoy teaching. It's been my passion. I've known I wanted to be a teacher since I was born. It's a generational thing. And this year, at the beginning of this year, I sat in my class and I was wondering, what happened to my passion? Where did that go? Because I found myself going from excited to being at school, being able to teach the kids, to crying because I don't want to go to school. The whole mom, I don't want to go to school, that was me. And
It sounds like roles are reversed. It's usually the kids crying enough to go to school.
exactly. And I was wondering to myself, why is this so? And it got to a place where at the beginning of the year, when we were admitting students, the one MEC of the department came to our school and he told us we are not allowed to refuse any children at our school. We just have to let them in. And I sat with 54 grade 1s in my classroom. I had no space to walk. I didn't have the time to mark all of their books and to get all of their books prepped. And I had sports and I had my own family and life, and I was burnt out. And I was thinking, what's next? And a big part of my journey is God and faith. Jesus plays such a big role in my life. And I found myself talking to him and asking him, Jesus, what's next? Because this is not it. I know that your plan for me is not depression and suicidal thoughts, because that is where I was heading. And, after guidance from the church and praying, I decided that, this is it. It's time. And to just resign. So I resigned. And that's when I dove into the whole Teacher Landi as a business for my resources and so on. I rebranded myself, and that's where I dove into that. And that was my turning point, is when my passion became my biggest nightmare.
So I just want to commend you. Well done on breaking through that, especially with those thoughts of that you just mentioned, the insecurities you had, the low self-worth because of school, or whatever those thoughts were. We actually just had a discussion with also a previous mainstream educator. Her vision and passion was kids still, and what she can do to give children the best possible opportunities to find themselves, to have a good education, to solidify their future as well. And it seems like there's a golden thread going through here. Do you think there's other educators, teachers in the system that's going through what you're going through? And on that as well, how can they be inspired by your story, or what can they take from your story to know that there is hope?
So I don't think I know that there are thousands and thousands of educators that are in the same position and that feel the same way. Because on my platform, Teacher Landi, on TikTok, I've had so many teachers, like thousands of teachers that message me every single day. I get messages from teachers saying, Teacher Landi, I can't do this anymore. How did you do it? Help me get out. I'm a single mother. I'm suffering, but I don't have anything to fall back on. So there are so many teachers that have gone through this. And my advice to them would be, for me, it was a faith journey. I didn't do it without God, without Jesus. I could never have done it without him. And I had something to fall back on. I have a husband who has a good job, and I've got God. I've got my business. I knew that I would have to pour everything into my business, and I knew that I would be taking a risk. I think it just comes to the point where you decide that the risk is greater. It's better to take the greater risk than to sit and wonder, are you going to kill yourself tomorrow?
I did ask you that question with sort of knowing the answer as well, because if we just look in this room here, my wife is also an ex-teacher. She also left the system because of these issues. If I may, we've got a team member here as well. His wife is also an ex-teacher. So in one room, there's 3 individuals we know of that's out of the system. So it shows you there's thousands, maybe even millions, that's going through this. And isn't this a component of what your TikTok also is to them? Encouragement, upliftment, to say, listen, it's gonna be okay. You're not gonna lose your marbles. But this passion of yours turned into a business now.
Yeah.
So, and your educational books, you're still plugged in helping kids, in helping parents, helping teachers, number one, because there's hope.
Yeah.
Landi, quickly take us on this journey from other teachers that can get in touch with you for support, but also your business, your books. In terms of your books, tell us more about what grades, what age, and what can parents expect, and what age group can get in touch with you pertaining to this.
Okay, so teachers can get in contact with me on TikTok. My DMs are open for anyone to send me a message. So, and then obviously TikTok does filter any chats. So if I don't get your chat, it's probably rude. But teachers can contact me on TikTok directly. And I usually always answer within a week. And then with the booklets, so at the moment, it's a me, myself, and I business until I've gotten to the growth where I need to be. So the thing with my booklets and my resources, because it's not just directed at parents and learners, it's also directed at teachers, is that I use my booklets to promote excellence. I know that teachers out there are looking for resources, and parents as well. And you can find a lot of slapdash nonsense everywhere on the internet. So I take up until even 3 weeks to produce a proper booklet that is CAPS aligned, it's ATP aligned, it's got all the different Bloom's taxonomy levels. I use a lot of clip art and fun ways that I formulate the questions and activities to make it more engaging for children, because we are living in a 20-second era where children just scroll or watch YouTube and their attention isn't caught. So this is a way to make it fun and engaging for learners. At the moment, I have grade 1, 2, and grade 3 is busy. It's busy loading.
Also,
it's on the way. The goal is to go up until matric.
Okay.
But it is a slow process.
Okay, fantastic. So basically, grade 1 and grade 2 parents can get hold of your resource that's fun and engaging for their kids. And actually, I wanted to ask you, in today's world where TikTok addiction, social media addiction, I don't know if a grade 1 or 2 is there already, I don't know. But how do these booklets capture their attention to ensure that we try and keep them off social media and the addiction levels of social media? I know this is like a contradiction now. You're on TikTok yourself, but your books, are they meant to get them off TikTok, right?
Yes, well, I would say that you could never keep them off of TikTok. And yes, they are on TikTok because I have grade 1s and 2s that are following me on TikTok and sending me messages.
Okay.
But I would say it's not a competition between my booklets and TikTok. They work together. So when children see my booklets and they see the work that I've put in, they also see Teacher Landi.
Okay, fantastic. So your further goal is you're busy with grade 3, so that's exciting, and then your dream is going up to grade 12.
Yes.
So where can people find these books? Tell us a bit more.
People can go onto my website, www.teacherlandi.com, and they can access all of my booklets on there. Alternatively, I do private requests. Then they can email me on support@teacherlandi.com, or they can send me a message on TikTok.
Fantastic. And it's like an online shop. They can actually order the books on your website, do the payment, and it will be shipped to them. Or download it. How do they receive the books?
Yes, so it is online only. They go onto the website, they purchase, and it will be in their account. Once they've purchased it, they can download it.
Okay, fantastic. It sounds easy. So we'll put there at the bottom, teacherlandi.com.
Yes.
Okay, so get your books there. Is there a limitation on how many they can order? Is it like one per order? Is there?
So with the orders, I tend to keep it as one teacher, one class, and then parents, obviously their own children. If schools would like to order for a whole group of children, then they would have to contact me privately.
Okay, fantastic. So Landi, from teacher to starting a side hustle, starting a TikTok channel, going full-time into business. What advice can you give, if you want to address teachers, what advice can you give other teachers in terms of starting their own business, and how can they do it?
The advice that I can give to other teachers is imagine yourself throwing from a cup that's overflowing and that's not empty. Imagine yourself in a space where you are not depressed. Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. Don't let a broken system break you. I've said this before. It's not fair that teachers have to set themselves on fire to keep everyone else in the room warm. Think about you for yourself this time. Because once you put yourself first, everything else will fall in place. And my most important piece of advice is go to Jesus. Go to him.
Landi, thank you so much. And there you have it. If you're looking for resources for your children, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3 coming soon, or you want to reach out, you're a teacher who needs to reach out to Landi, Teacher Landi, as she's known in a persona on TikTok, just to have a chat with her because you are struggling in the system currently. Those two audiences, get in touch with Landi, www.teacherlandi.com or Teacher Landi on TikTok. Thank you for tuning in another episode of Unfiltered AF with Teacher Landi.
Yay!
Your favorite online TikTok educator with her educational books. We loved having you, Landi. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for also your support to others and also what you're doing to support kids and their parents. Don't forget to like and subscribe our channel to view more inspirational interviews like this one, where the story of one individual can change the lives of millions for the better. Looking forward to see you next time. Cheers.
Unfiltered AF, real ones rise, no mask, no flex. Lights on, mic check is next. This is the truth, unfiltered AF.